LeBron and Pat McAfee talking about, and this clip is LeBron talking about how the decision, kind of made him a victim. People were looking to pick on him.
You probably lost a lot of trust in media, I would assume, because of the things that happened. Not just what was said on TV, but what it led other people to probably think they should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
it all started with the decision. It all started with the decision. The decision really had me sit back and because people literally I give a moment. So the decision, it was brought to me to be able to, do something cool on TV, do a kind of college style. Like I said, never went to college. I was like, this would be pretty cool.
Put a hat on.
Make the decision, put the hat on, but also, raise $2.5 million for a great cause, and also be able to, make it cool. And the funniest thing is, from that moment, it was December 2nd, 2010 was my first game back to Cleveland. So I stay at the hotel, stay at the Ritz downtown in Cleveland. And this one I knew that it was, people did not even really care or didn't even understand the situation. They just wanted to be a part of the nonsense. I hit the elevator to go downstairs to the bus, catch the bus, to go over to, I think it was the Q, the Quicken Loans Arena then. And the elevator opens, and there's two guys, random guys on the elevator. You guys can always pull this up. They used to have these FUK LBJ T-shirts, black T-shirts, red letters. And I see the two guys, they see me, they say, oh my God. Oh, no, listen, this is, man, we love you so much, man. We're just here for the spectacle, man. We're just here for the spectacle. Like, seriously, we love you, man, and have a good get. And the elevator door closed. I was like, oh, yeah.
Those are two white dudes, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because we're outnumbered right now.
No, we're all in this together, brother. We're all in this together,
it was like,
brother.
oh my God, man, we love you, man. Like, oh shit, don't. And the elevator closed. I was like, you know what? This is all part of the spectacle, and it's about to go. It's about to get haywire.
So the decision, you think, is whenever the conversation kind of changed a little bit about you?
Yeah, because they just needed something. They needed something. Everything was so positive, and and I gave them no reason to make it negative.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking up.
But they needed anything. I'm doing everything I need to do on the court. I'm not out in the streets. I'm not being caught in all the bullshit that doesn't respect the game and respect my craft. It was like, oh, you decided to go on TV and make a decision for your career. Oh, we got you. We got it. We finally got it. We finally made a little chink in the armor.
We got something.
It's
selfish.
Oh, it's selfish. Yeah. You selfish mother. Yeah.
And then that caught a little bit of fire, right? Because a lot of people don't like seeing people that are successful in anything, especially if somebody is taking happiness from them and their team, which you were doing, obviously, with the Cavs. And then that just you're saying from that moment is when
Yeah.
So that was somewhat early in his conversation with Pat McAfee, TJ, and it was LeBron somewhat framing himself as a bit of a victim. I think you believe that more strongly than I do. I think that LeBron's overall appearance on Pat McAfee, he was trying desperately hard to be likable, and I'm not sure if he pulled it off. I think he wanted to come off as one of the guys, and hey, I'm the type of guy Pat McAfee could have a beer with, and you sports bros out there you could have a beer with. But I don't think he pulled it off because, one, I thought he cursed way too much. He was too profane, and over, even though I thought he had the right energy, I think if you examined his message throughout this interview, it undermined the likability.
LeBron James needs to stop. He needs to stop. I'm so sick of him with this, how the league is covered, because he wanted to be covered a certain way that he wants it to be covered. See, again, this is what it comes down to with LeBron. And I'm a big LeBron fan. I've been knowing LeBron since 1998, literally, 1998. The problem that I have is, one, everything that comes out of LeBron James' mouth ain't the damn gospel. Number two, we're in 2025. It's a different era. Damn it, you have to adjust. But here's the thing. The coverage of the NBA, in my opinion, has been the same since I've arrived in the NBA, since I grew up as a youngster watching the NBA. Magic Johnson, was he not criticized? Kobe Bryant, was he not criticized? Michael Jordan, was he not criticized? Allen Iverson, he was criticized. So, like, in today's game, these players are so sensitive.
I certainly didn't like him anymore after watching it. I think he's got several different problems, and we'll get to this throughout the conversation, but I think the guy's a billionaire, okay? Or at least he's got a lifetime contract with Nike that eventually is going to pay him an obscene amount of money. He's not a victim. He's never been a victim for his entire life. I guess he grew up in the hood, according to him. I'll take his word for it, whatever. He moved his mom out of the hood. He told us in this interview the second he signed a $90 million contract with Nike as a high schooler. Okay? He was moving into the NBA. So what other 18-year-old has that opportunity to sign a $90 million contract for doing nothing but playing basketball? And again, it's great talent and all that, but it's like you're not going to war. You haven't started a big company. You're a very talented athlete that hasn't proven anything outside of high school yet, and they gave you $90 million. You've never been a victim ever at any point in your entire life. And so trying to say, as you go into talking about the decision, and that, I'd never had any problems, I wasn't out there in the street, I'd never really left Cleveland, even in Cleveland, I didn't live in Cleveland, I lived in Akron. And so they just had to find something, and that was their thing to find. And, he tried to go into talking about how, I raised millions of dollars, $2.5 million for charity. And it was like my high school, college moment where I get to pick the hat and all that. It's like, hey, man, this whole thing, you're not, he's 40 years old. How old is LeBron? He's
41, I think.
41.
40 or 41.
You're a 41-year-old man who is now coming on one of the most popular shows on television to tell us that you were a victim back then and they've been trying to get you since that moment. How is that likable in any way?
It's not, but let me push back and ask you this way. LeBron's never been a victim. People are sitting there, he didn't know his father. His mother had substance abuse problems or some problems early on. He grew, from age 0 to 12 or 14 or whatever. He was poor, they would say. And so didn't know his father. Not knowing his father, that's not his fault. Doesn't that make him some sort of a victim?
Well, then we're all victim of something, right? If you have a dad in the home but he's got anger problems, are you a victim of that? If you have a mother that would prefer to work a job a little bit more so she's not at home, are you a victim of neglect? We can all paint this idea of victimhood. The reality is when you are, since the time you were 18 years old, been a guy that has had every single person take care of every one of your problems forever. He's never been in any trouble, as far as we know, but he's been the golden child who, if he had gotten any trouble, we would likely never know about it. The Akron police, the attorneys and people around him, politicians, everybody loves LeBron James. How would we even know if he was ever crossing the line?